And I said, yo, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy Larry. We live back in the motherfucking building. Y'all already know NBA playoffs already started. I ain't finna, bore y'all with that stupid shit. We finna jump straight into this motherfucker, man. Thank y'all for fucking with me like y'all been doing. You feel what I'm saying? We back, Larrylive, in the building. Let's go and dive into this motherfucker. NBA playoffs 2022. Let's get it. Chill.
And like first grade, grade is in, start off in the worst way. And I don't got no time to play. Only thing that's left is to say, and to say, I like it, you know I like it. You so enticing, can I wife it? I'm not one night in, I'm trying for life it. No, I like it, you know I'm likely. I'm so enticing, think we trifling. We just alike it, we both enticing.
I said I like it, you know I like it. You so enticing, can I wife it? I'm not one night in, I'm trying for life it. No, I like it, I know I'm likely. I'm so enticing.
Alright, let's jump straight into this thing, man. NBA playoffs, very intensified. No LeBron James. So, you know what I mean? Every time we get one without LeBron, it's a little interesting. It's a little more interesting. You know, we can kind of not see where shit's going. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna jump straight into this NBA playoffs. Let's talk about this bullshit, man. Right now I'm gonna start y'all off with the more boring matchups and then get y'all into the more interesting matchups where everybody trying to see. And first off, starting with that boring shit, we got the Suns and the motherfucking Pelicans. I expect this to be a quick a quick breeze. Suns won game one, 110-99. It was real blowout, nothing special. Pelicans, they just don't have enough manpower. Suns experience, they gel, they got the chemistry. They're the number one team in the league for a reason. It's not even nothing to talk about with these guys. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, just way too much for CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram over there in the Pelicans, man. It's just too much over there. Pelicans, they got a good squad. They add some more pieces. They might be even more elite for next year. But right now, 4-0, nothing really to talk about. Nothing much to talk about. Next up, Warriors, Nuggets. Another one not even really to discuss. Nuggets without MPJ, without Jamal Murray. Joker basically doing it by himself. They don't really have all the pieces. Will Barton having to take on much more of a role now that MPJ and Jamal Murray isn't there. So him having to pick up a bigger role and having to do more also is a problem as well. Aaron Gordon not really having the offensive role, just give you that offensive boost, that energy, that surge, that that vibe that you need to get the offense rolling, easy cuts, easy alley-oop, stuff like that. But that's not enough to beat this Golden State Warriors team, who everybody in this country must have forgot about. Why does a team that's been to the finals 3-4 times, beating LeBron James, added Kevin Durant, got the best record in the league even though they didn't win a championship? Why do you think after a season or after a mishap inside of their season that you really think they wouldn't fix themselves together after being top 3 in the West, falling off a bit, and coming to these playoffs, people are already writing them off? Why? Do they not still have Steph Curry? Do they still not have Klay Thompson? Do they still not have Draymond Green? Do they still not have that weak-ass coach Steve Kerr? I just threw him in there. But they have chemistry. They're a solid team. They have defense, and they have scoring. And also they have Jordan fucking Poole, who is a great addition, another splash brother as he's growing to be. And we also have the defenses turning up Gary Payton II, who is turning that second unit into a defensive beast. So Golden State is definitely not out of the mix. Definitely I see them going 4-0 against this team. Nothing even to talk about, worry about, none of the mix. I feel like Nuggets may still win game just because of how great Joker is. They may still a game, but other than that, no. Warriors got that shit. Up next, we got Raptors and Philly. Game 1, it was nothing really magical, special. Raptors gave it all they had, but Philly was just too goddamn much that game 1. Tyrese Maxey dropped like, I believe, 38, almost 40. In his second year in the league. He's really progressing, but really what I want to talk about is Tobias Harris, who really found his own. He's really that X factor for every team he's on. He's the X factor to making that team a little bit better. Especially, you didn't see it much when he was in Orlando. He was that guy. He did score, but you could see it in the Clippers how when he first came to the Clippers, he was relied upon. Now over here in the 76ers, 3-4 years here, he's not so much relied. He was relied upon, especially with Ben Simmons, but now having James Harden, Joel Embiid now, that we need you to be that third consistent scorer just in case James having an off night, just in case Embiid is having an off night. We need you to be that sufficient, efficient, truly consistent scorer on a night in and night out basis. And what we seen last night, what we seen from that game one, Philly and Toronto, definitely is Tobias Harris. You want in Philly to take y'all to that, if they make it to that Eastern Conference Finals, eventually maybe to the finals. But I got Philly winning, beating Toronto in 5 4-1 games. And shouts out to Toronto, man. Fred VanVleet caught 2 quick fouls in like the first minute of the game. They did actually bring it back. They made it interesting, but Philly was just out of hand. It wasn't much that they can do. Shout out to the rookie Scotty Barnes, dropping 15, 10, and 8 in his first ever game in the playoffs. Maybe the rookie of the year, who knows? But next, right now after that, we're going to go to, and shout out to Harden with 14 assists. I just want to throw that out there for no goddamn reason. Next up, we got 2 tied for interesting matchups, playoff games, whatever you want to call it. Hawks and the Heat. The Heat smashed the Hawks. Had Trae Young looking dumb out that motherfucker. Had that boy look, I don't even know what to call it. That boy was locked down, you hear me? That boy wasn't doing nothing, you hear me? But that's another reason why I feel like this series is could take a turn for the better for Atlanta, because with all of that defensive, all that shit that Atlanta just went through in that game one, they're a decent enough team to where their offense is good enough to, they were missing shots. And Jimmy Butler said it in the post-game interview. They were missing shots. They were missing wide open shots. They didn't miss shots. Atlanta is a great shooting team. Trae Young is on the level of Luka Doncic and Joker, Nikola Jokic, you know what I mean? And a smidge of James Harden when it comes to the ability to score and as well as assist, not even just assist, but making your whole team better. He's in that realm, as well as LeBron James. He's in that realm. So, that being said, if the Hawks were to at least make some of their shots that he was getting, because they were wide open shots that they were missing, it could have been a closer game. It could have been a better game, because at the same time, Miami was struggling to score. And that's another reason why I feel like Atlanta could steal a game or two going against Miami, because Miami does struggle to score time to time. They do become inconsistent and they go on scoring drought. So that could be Atlanta's advantage. Also, Trae Young feeling like, didn't have a good game. He could have a bounce back game. If not game 2, definitely game 3. I don't feel like Atlanta's getting swept just because of how good Miami played that game 1. They still have some issues on the offensive end when they tend to not score, and some periods of time, and Atlanta could not capitalize on that. But Miami's defense is very, very, very elite. That's why if you have them sweeping the Hawks, I'm not mad at you at all. Next up, and these are no longer boring matchups. These are more interesting matchups. Miami and the Hawks, very interesting matchup. I got them right now. They're tied with another Eastern matchup, Bucks and Bulls, which is another interesting matchup. And after this, it's only going up. But Bucks and Bulls, goddamn baby. Bucks won, former champions, they won. But if you were watching what I was watching, it didn't really look right. It didn't really look well, if you know what I'm saying. The Bulls defense are that good. Even without Lonzo Ball, they're that amazing. I'm glad they got Alex Caruso back. He is a pivotal part of that defense. Essential offense is the IQ, though. He really stands out. Orlando Magic fans, please stand the fuck up. I know you guys were I know you guys were happy. I know you guys were excited to see Nikola Vujovic doing his motherfucking thing over there in Chicago, man. I know y'all love to see it. He took off. He did his thing. He started off slow, so which everybody was like, oh, Vujovic. But after the second, maybe mid-second, third, fourth quarter, he really found his own. He really doing his own thing, defense and offensive-wise. He was shooting, he was scoring. He was that guy. When people would put their heads down, he would tell them to pick him up, even though it was one play where he missed a shot, and Alex Caruso had to boost his head back up. I think that was in the fourth because it was really close, and he missed a shot. But him being in Orlando, being in the playoffs, because the East, when I was good as the West, but Orlando was in the playoffs a couple of times. They lost to Milwaukee probably 2-3 years back when Milwaukee was 1 seed, Orlando was an 8th seed, got their ass blown out. They won the first game, but then they lost the next 4. But anyways, Nikola Vujovic, he's been there, not anywhere important, but he's been in the playoffs. He understands. Zach LaVine, this is his first playoff appearance. A lot of those Bulls' first playoff appearances, besides Caruso and DeMar DeRozan, but still, the way he stood out was very, very important. And Orlando Magic fans, I know you gotta love it, because when he was in Orlando Magic, I was gonna say I'm from Orlando, but you know how I go. We seen the talent, potential, all he could do, and now to see that progress onto a team, a title contending team possibly, it's just you got nothing but love for it. You gotta show love for Nikolai Vujovic. But just to see that the Bulls defense to hold the Bucks, Giannis taking off in the first quarter, first half, but after that, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, Giannis really wasn't taking off. The Bulls defense shut him down, literally or not. He almost fouled out. It was an undercut, supposedly boxing out. I forgot who the Bulls player was boxing him out, but it looked like it could have been over the back, and his sixth foul with 3 minutes left to go in the fourth. Bulls could have won that first game. Just something to look out for. This is an exciting series. Everybody probably thought the Bucks would have won it 4-0 after seeing what I seen and just seeing the Bulls defense. It's a very, very good chance that they could steal 2 games or take it to 7. I like them taking it to 7, but Drew Holiday started off slow. Chris Middleton also started off slow. Brook Lopez had an amazing game. But if Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton come hot, but at the same time, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine also started hot. So we have a great series in hand. Like I said, I have the Bucks winning in 7. If you disagree, we'll just have to see. Next up on the trying to get on these most exciting matchups, we have Jazz and Mavs. I honestly thought this was going to be the most interesting until I found out Luka was not. Luka got injured or whatever the case is. No Luka, no problem for the Mavs. Only losing by 6, 93-99. I got the Jazz winning in 6, depending on when Luka actually comes back. Could go to 7. But Mavs only lose by 6, getting their ass beat the first quarter, first half. But they actually bring it back. Dinwiddie, Brunson, 2 playmakers definitely coming into play, doing what they got to do. Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith hitting important threes as well. The Jazz fell apart. They wasn't hitting their threes. They really weren't hitting threes as good as they can this game. If they find their stroke, if they find their groove in game 2, they'll run away with a blowout. But if they can't find their stroke game 2, I believe Dallas have the manpower, have the inspiration, have the firepower. And if Luka returns, Dallas can steal game 2. Just all depending on the factors there. But you just got to shout out to Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie doing their thing. No Luka. They both had Spencer Dinwiddie with 22 and 8 assists. That's important. Brunson with 24, and like I said, Bullock and Dorian with 15 and 16. Bogdanovich over there in the Utah Jazz with 26 good points, and Mitchell with 32. What you got to remember is Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson only combined for 23, so they wasn't really as hottest as they could be. But the Mavs defense is something that you really want to pay attention to. The Jazz, of course, missed shots, but Dallas made it very, 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 very hard. And you can actually say the defense was slightly better with Luka off the floor. Offense was, they made up for it with the offense. Offense wasn't Dallas having Luka on the floor offense, but that defense was something else. Dorian, Reggie, Bronson, Maxi Kleber, goddamn Dwight Powell, even though he's undersized, it's that energy, that effort, and all of these Dallas players have it, which makes them different. Which, just like the Bulls, which can win them some games, even though they don't have Luka Doncic. Like I said, if he comes back, I do believe they could win the next game. If not, I don't know. It's 50-50. But I do have Utah winning in 6. Next up, the second most anticipated, what I think you should be watching, is that Timberwolves and Grizzlies. Number 2 Grizzlies versus number 7 Timberwolves. Timberwolves still game 1. My God, what a matchup. Ja Morant going crazy in that first quarter or first half, dropping like 15. I believe that was the first quarter. He dropped like 15 points in the first quarter. All of them was inside the paint and free throws, nothing outside, no jumpers, but he was going straight in that paint and attacking. I didn't really like that because I do like it when he was doing it in the beginning, but he relied on that. And after that nice start in the first quarter, I believe he was like 5 for 7 or something like that. He went 3 for 10, 2 for 10, something like that. Keep on attacking, but the Timberwolves adjusted to that and caused him to miss a lot of shots. So that being said, from after the first quarter, he had 15 points. He ended with 32. So the next 3 quarters, he only scored 17 combined. You just gotta watch out for that, Ja Morant. Know when to pick and choose, how to attack. I don't give a fuck. I'm not talking to this man. Memphis and Timberwolves. Very, 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 very interesting matchup, man. Why? Ja Morant versus Anthony Edwards, two young bulls. And like Anthony Edwards said in a pre-game interview, they both don't really have playoff experience. They both are young teams, average age of 25 or younger. So they're both on an evenly matched up. According to him, they're both evenly matched up, which is in a sense true. In a sense, true. But Memphis obviously having the chemistry and obviously having that playoff experience year before after losing to Utah, but it did steal the game one, which was a very good game one, even though Memphis was having a little bit of foul trouble. They were having foul trouble again. Josh Jackson Jr., Steven Adams early with the fouls. Last year, it was Dylan Brooks struggling with the foul trouble. This year, it's the big man. Josh Jackson Jr. shows why he needs to be on the floor because he is the defensive problem. He gets blocks, he moves, he can guard positions 1 through 5. I don't know if they said that shit. I didn't see that shit. But he is very versatile. He can defend. I've seen he's very important on that floor. The defense switches. Steven Adams, great addition. And somebody just wanted to point out that if Memphis does go to the finals, this will be the second time Jonas Valanciunas got traded, and that team he was traded from made the finals. The first team was when Kawhi went to Toronto, and Kawhi was like, this nigga ass. Go get me motherfucking Marc Gasol, you feel me, from Memphis. Yeah, this nigga, okay. If y'all want me, I need him. So that's what they did. They got Marc Gasol from Memphis, sent Jonas Valanciunas to Memphis. Jonas Valanciunas was on Memphis last year, but they said we need something better defensively, I'm assuming, or whatever. So they sent him to the Pelicans and grabbed Steven Adams. If Memphis makes it to the finals, this will be the second time that my boy Jonas Valanciunas got gypped and did dirty out of that finals, seeing the finals. But Anthony Edwards, Timberwolves having the game of their life, which is why I don't believe they'll have many more games like this. But this was probably one of their best games of the season, ending it with 136. Anthony Edwards with 36 points. Let me just see some stats. Malik Beasley with 23. Karl Anthony Towns, a major game after having a terrible game in the play-in, 29-13. McDaniels 15. Only one had a bad game was D'Angelo Russell, but you can expect him not to have too much of those because he had an amazing game in the play-in. But the one that we can say is consistent and definitely a future of this NBA, Anthony Edwards with 36 points. First ever playoff appearance, going against the number 2 seed, and he wants all the smoke. You feel what I'm saying? This is interesting. This is just, y'all heard the social media, Ja Morant saying, well, we not ducking no smoke, we running up the chimney. This is finna be that. So with Memphis getting their ass smacked, handed back to them, and Barrett's supposed to be the number 2 seed, come in here getting their ass whooped by number 7 seed, they definitely gonna come back. They're definitely gonna be fierce. They're definitely not gonna be missing no shot. They're definitely gonna swing that ball. They're gonna play Memphis basketball, which they played quarters 2 through 4. When before they played 2 through 4. At the first quarter, they got Timberwolves scored like 40 fucking points. They scored 41. Memphis scored 33. 33 points in the first quarter is pretty good. But when the other team's scoring 41, what can you do but try and come back? You know what I mean? And only thing I gotta say about the Grizzlies is they're facing adversity. They are the favorites to go to the finals. So now they're facing a team that's the number 7 seed, and it's all this pressure on Memphis. Can they handle it per se? Along with the lack of experience, lack of veteranship, that just being in the playoffs. They have that with Steven Adams. They have that with Kyle Anderson, but they may need a little more. You feel what I'm saying? They may need a little more because this is tough for them. If they lose and being number 2 seed, what does that say about them? You know what I mean? Nothing. They're young. They can grow and they can bounce back for next year. But it will hurt. It will hurt morale. It will hurt their morale. But I do have Memphis actually winning this, and just because they won 1, and I'll be gracious enough to give them another win in 6. But Memphis in 5, if you really want to be real. This is probably the most important matchup, not the most important, I'm sorry, but the most interesting, the most must-see TV, the most entertaining matchup in the playoffs right now. Boston Nets. Yeah. Celtics steal the first game, and honestly, it's a lot you can say about that. Celtics defense, oh my gosh, did you guys see how they were turning up on their asses? Celtics defense caused 7 turnovers in the first quarter. Durant had 3 in the first quarter, first half, or some bullshit like that. They were really sticking it to Durant. He had an off night. You can say he ended with like 24, right? 23. He ended with 23, but it wasn't a pretty 23. It wasn't Kevin Durant's 23. He was struggling. They was making him miss a lot of shots, but goddamn Uncle Drew. That boy wasn't missing, now was he? Uncle Drew could do it from anywhere, everywhere. He's shooting, he's pulling up, he's driving, he's even getting steals out that motherfucker. Kyrie Irving showed up, showed out with 39. Goran Dragic showed up and showed out off the bench. Only 14, but it's an important 14. Claxton as well, he played a great game as well. Someone who played great that the stats won't show you, he only had 3 points, no rebounds, no assists. Patty Mills, moving off the ball, creating people to become open. Just that IQ to space out the floor and making great plays off the ball. I've seen a lot of plays where Patty Mills was doing stuff like that, and you probably just won't even hear about because he's not on the stats or anything like that. But the Nets were doing pretty good. But the Celtics, let's shout out to Al Horford, man. 20 and 15, really came out the gun like, yeah, like just like Brook Lopez over there for the Bucks. These seniored big men are really showing out in these playoffs and really showing that, hey man, youth, that's y'all. You feel me? We gonna show y'all what we can do with our experience and our playoff experience, and it really helped the Celtics out. Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year, had a great, what was that, third quarter? He had like 11 points, 13 points, 11 points in like the first 5 minutes. Marcus Smart was doing his thing, doing what he had to do. Tatum was taking off, Brown was taking off. But what I could take away from this was Celtics playing as good as they played and only winning by, this bitch ass shit ain't even got the score. They only won by like 6 or whatever the fuck they won by. However much, 10 or, I'm sorry, they won by a point. They won by a fucking point. The Jason Tatum left Durant, Kyrie Irving, and layup. That's not good, Celtics fans. That's not good. I want to be happy. I want to be ecstatic. I want to think my team is going to the finals. Kevin Durant had a bad game. Kyrie Irving was the leading scorer. After that, it was Durant with 23. It was Seth Curry, who played phenomenal with 9 points. When those 9 points came, it was great. And some assists as well. That's not what you want. You want a blowout. The first quarter I knew was kind of sketchy because if you watch the game, the Celtics were getting turnovers left and right, but they couldn't build that gap. It wasn't until the second quarter that they started to build on it and build on it some more. And Kyrie Irving had to literally bring that team back in the third, and then Kevin Durant comes in and they get the lead, and then Celtics bring that lead back, and now it's tick for tack the whole fourth quarter. But that should not happen. The way your defense was playing, the way you guys were swarming them, smothering them, doing all you can. You should have won that game. Foul trouble. Both in the bonus. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. What the fuck is going on? Very physical. If you notice anything about these 2022 playoffs, it's not 22 regular season. It's physical. You get punched in your face. Want to call, get called, motherfucker, because we here. It's what you've been waiting for. The motherfucking playoffs, baby. Yes, sir. In 2022, it's turning up. So you're not going to see a lot of calls getting called. You're going to see a whole bunch of, damn, ref. What the fuck, ref? He hit me, ref. He hit me, ref. You're going to see a whole bunch of that shit because the refs don't give a fuck. They got paid a little extra. They got a little something paid by Vegas. We want to see some fucking blood. That's what they're saying to the refs. So the refs is going to give you blood, baby. So back to this Nets and Celtics. This scary Celtics fan. If you're a Celtics fan, I will be worried. Kevin Durant having a terrible game like that and you're only winning by a point. That's not good. 4 Celtics with 20 points or better and you only win by a point? That's not good. That's not good. Dragic 14, Claxton 13, Irving 39, Durant 23. These are the best scorers for the Nets. Yeah, you held them down, but they also held you down. People are asleep on how good the Nets play defense against the Celtics as well. But we'll just watch. We'll watch out for game 2. We'll see what game 2 has to offer. I don't have this game going to 7. I have this going to 6 because I respect the Celtics and I respect their defense. And I believe they can steal another game after this. But that was in Boston. What happens when we go to Brooklyn? What happens when we go to the Nets? What happens? Can Boston suffice? They're a great team. Excellent team. But what I've seen from them, they had a good offensive. You know, they were missing some. They were missing some shots, whatever. But 4 players with 20 plus Kevin Durant, and the stats will show up here somewhere, missing this much, this amount. Kyrie being that guy, you know, and that's all you have to worry about. Seth Curry didn't have 20. Goran only had 14. Joe Harris is out. No Ben Simmons. Brown only had 5. What are we doing? What are we talking about? But I'm not even gonna hold you too much. You know what I mean? Up next for and that was all your game ones for round 1 of the NBA playoff. Up next later on tonight, it will be Philly, game 2. Jazz, game 2. Warriors, game 2. And that's who all I think will win those games. Philly and Toronto, game 2. I think Philly will win. Jazz, Mavs, I think Jazz will win because I don't think Luka's playing. If he does play, that would be a different story. Warriors, they're going to win that one, game 2. And that's all the time I have now for Larrylive. Thank you guys for fucking with your boy. You feel what I'm saying? You know I'm gonna be here. Ain't nothing sweet about nothing. You hear what I'm saying? We're gonna keep this motherfucker going. You feel what I'm saying? Subscribe. Follow me on, you know what I mean, TikTok, Instagram, Larrylive TV. You gonna see that shit down here somewhere, maybe. I don't know how to work this. But I'm your boy. You feel what I'm saying? LarryLive TV.tv. I'll fuck with y'all next time. Bye.